YouTube? Welcome back to the Kurt Winters YouTube channel, where we talk about cars and all that implies. Today we are in beautiful, historic Keller, Texas for the annual Connors Car Show that benefits various charities. There's a lot of cool cars here. Let's go check them out. So we've been walking around the car show and we found this really cool 1929 Ford Tudor, and it's owned by Mr. Billy. And what he's going to do is, this video is going to be a little bit different, because all you guys who collect cars out there and think that the hobby is the greatest thing in the world, which it is, but Billy's going to tell us 3 reasons not to buy a classic car. So, Billy, go ahead and start us off with what's one of your major complaints about this car.
3 reasons not to buy a classic car. Number 1, it is not easy on the back. It is a rough ride. They are almost 100 years old, and even if you modify them, you're not getting the same ride as the 2017 F250 I have. So that would be 1.
So you're telling me that the back end likes to hop around?
Yeah, it's a little bit hoppy, yeah.
So we got a lot of millennials out there, and we've got a lot of older guys too. No offense, I'm an old guy. But if you've ever driven a Ford T-Bucket, which is similar to the weird car that George Barris built for the Munsters, those cars are notorious for that back transaxle to kind of hop around when you get on it. So when you give it gas, are you locked in, making sure that you're in a straight line?
More I'm trying to overcorrect is basically what I'm trying to do. Because
really?
When you throttle it, it'll break loose. It's even with the bigger meat of the tires, it tries to get a little squirrely on you. It's just a lot of power, you know?
Right.
And there's not a lot of weight in the back. So
okay, so reason number 1, we have a kind of a hoppy back end that kind of does what it wants, and like Billy was saying, when you drive this car, you have to be engaged.
100%.
You're not driving a Lexus or a brand new Honda or Toyota. You have to drive this car. This car does not drive you. So that's a great first reason. So tell us your second reason about why this classic car, or why you shouldn't buy a classic car.
Well, for this particular model anyway, as you see, I'm covered. I have tattoos, and the open top, I'm a bit of a ginger, so you have a tendency to get a little burnt. So exactly. So you know, you try and stay covered as much as you can, but you inevitably go home with a sunburned neck and spots that you may have missed the sunscreen.
So let's go take a look at this roof. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. So I can imagine you don't drive this car in the rain or the snow,
No.
do you?
No, sir.
Now, you said that when you bought it, someone had already...
Yeah, all this, the car was originally built by a guy in Oklahoma, and it was black at the time. I've since painted it white, but he had framed out that and left the open top, and you know, I'm going to have to get some kind of a top for it at some point, because it is...
Yeah, you could almost finish that off with some vinyl, or maybe...
I'm actually going to do candles.
Okay.
Put snaps in it so you can still take it off.
That's a great idea. Something water resistant, maybe something created for aquamarine or something you put on a boat. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going to own a classic car, which I have a convertible, and like Billy said, if you're of the red-headed persuasion, you're going to get your ass burnt. Torched. So either wear your obnoxious cowboy hat or put on sunscreen, which they say gives you cancer now. All right, so there's reason number 2. It's going to burn your ass. And go ahead and give us reason number 3.
Well, you know, reason number 3 is the obvious one. This is not a cheap hobby. It's you know, it's spendy, as my friend would say. So you really kind of have to think ahead of time what the disposable income is going to be, because you have to do it for the love of it. You are certainly not doing it to try and make money or keep your money in the bank. We'll say that much.
Now, I buy cars, and our viewers know that I lean towards nostalgia. I'm not a horsepower junkie. I buy the cars that when I was 12 and 13, I could never afford, but I saw ripping around DFW. So this car is actually, like you said, this is a 29. So, you know, almost 100 years old. So what you have to realize is that when you're dealing with this type of build, which this is great, this is over the top, there's gonna be a lot of money spent. And if you have a wife or a girlfriend, they may leave you, but you still have your 29 two-door.
Find one that loves cars too. That's the best.
Right.
If you can find yourself a woman that loves cars, win-win. She's a keeper.
Our beautiful camera woman owns a 1993 300CX convertible. So
There you go.
I kind of had to force her into the hobby, but I make her drive all my cars. I make her drive the Corvette, the Z, whatever it is. Haven't got her on a motorcycle yet, but I'm still working on it.
That's all right. That's too few wheels, in my opinion. I'm with you.
And you said that you have yet to burn yourself.
I have not. I haven't burned myself yet, but when I pull it in, I have a single car garage just for this one. And so whenever I pull it in, I'm always super conscious, because when it starts cooling down and you can hear it just cooling off and that tink, 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 it's like, yeah, just steer clear because it's all hot.
Right. Well, thanks, Billy. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And again, that's 3 reasons not to buy a classic car. Thank you so much. Are you having fun at the show today?
Absolutely.
Is this your first time out here?
It is. First time to.
Okay, yeah, we've been coming out here the last 4 or 5 years. Connor's Car Show is for a great charity. Connor is awesome, and this is one bitchin' 1929 Ford Tudor with some, check out these tires. We've got some pretty aggressive semi 50/50 off-road tires. Enjoy the rest of the day at the show.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
And
Thanks for stopping by.
yeah, we appreciate you keeping this hobby alive.
Appreciate it.
Heck yeah, one cool Ford 29 two-door.